a bit less, just a bit less is much, much more. So when you have 8 billion people living on a ball and everyone is doing just a little bit less, driving, streaming, consuming,
Mhm.
shopping, traveling, just a little bit, the impact on planet Earth, on our climate, on health, on being together will be massive positive. That's what I'm saying.
Welcome to Swiss Impact with Banerjees. Have you noticed how sustainability is not just a trend anymore?
Totally. This season, we are exploring the circular economy. The products are made to be used, reused, and recycled.
And we are seeing some incredible examples like turning ocean plastic into fashion or art.
Or creating electronics that are built to last, not just be replaced.
And we are going to spotlight these pioneers and see how they're driving real change and what can we learn.
And let's dive into it right now.
Hi and welcome. Today we are kicking off our new season with an extraordinary guest.
Yes, and it's the perfect moment to join forces for an inclusive world where all human businesses, institutions, governments, and academia come together to save our planet for future generations.
And for present ones.
Exactly.
So today's show is truly special with a unique message, SOS, to save our souls or to save our species for the entire world. And it's the first time we are sharing it. With this, I'd like to welcome Mr. Gerry Hofstetter, our guest of today.
Hello.
Hi, Gerry. Hello. Where are you right now? Thank you for joining us.
Right now, I'm on planet Earth, in Europe, in Switzerland, in the village of Zumikon, in my office on the right end of the building.
That's not the worst place to be. Okay, Gerry, before we dive in, I'd like to give a brief introduction about you to those who don't know you yet, because I'm thinking that after your tour is kicked off, everyone will know you. So, for those who don't know you, Gerry, you are a true art venturer who combines daring and creativity to create breathtaking light art. You're a former investment banker, helicopter pilot, mountain special forces captain, and you also have been in natural sites and glaciers into powerful visual statements since 1999. Your work is more than art. It's force for change. From projecting a polar bear on an Antarctic icebergs to raising awareness about climate change and illuminating the Matterhorn with flags of nations battling COVID-19. So you, Gerry, your creations challenge all humans who are looking at it and confronting the planet's most urgent issues to the humans. Now, you are embarking on a most ambitious project yet, the SOS World Tour. Projective massive SOS signals onto glaciers across all 8 continents on our planet. Through this art, you compile us to rethink our relationship with the environment and inspire to action, to do something about the situation on our planet. So thank you for joining us again, and let's dive.
Yeah. Welcome, Gerry. So let's start with the first question. So going from investment banking, flying helicopters, and the military to light art is a huge transformation. What inspired you to make such a big switch?
I would say it's not a huge transformation. It's a logical way, because all these skills I needed to do what I'm doing now. So when I have done all these elements, I also combined the talents of painting. When I was a teenager, I grew up on a farm. We had horses, and rich ladies, they had horses on the farm, and they asked me to do portraits in oil about their horses. I was 15 years old. Per picture, I was getting $5,000. And I realized, if you do something what you see, don't learn, just follow like your instinct, your vision, and don't change your attitude. But I knew by doing this for my life, I needed to have some skills. I didn't know that I will be a light artist, but I knew I have to do something for the planet, for the animals, for people. And then I decided to do all these things you just told: banker, helicopter pilot, military, because I knew my work will be outdoor with something. So that's how this all came up.
And why light art? So what's so special about it?
Light, you have to start at the light. Light, when the volcanoes stopped, when Earth was developed, the smoke, the fog went away, and the first time sunlight hit planet Earth, the liquidity on the ground. And we all know photosynthesis started and life started. Plants, something very strange started, and it became animals and human, everything. So light is in everything in the planet, which is taking oxygen and water to live. So light is in our DNA. And when I was 33 years old, I decided to become independent, doing my own company and doing a communication, a way of where people are going to be touched with the heart. And I discovered taking back my painting talents, combining with a banker, pilot, adventure, whatever, military, combining this is enabling me to project with light messages on monuments, landscapes, for people to do something. They are understandable because they are easy to translate for them by seeing. So that's the reason why I'm using light for projections to communicate, because everybody understands light, because light is in his body.
It's inside of us, hidden, right?
So can you share a personal moment or story that made you realize light art was your true calling?
Yes, when I traveled a lot around the globe, met a lot of people and cultures, indigenous people. And then you're also realizing in all the religions, they are talking about light. Light is hope. Light and colors are actually, in combining a message, something which everyone is helping for his life, or to understand something, or to get a message. So the real kick was when I was 10 years old. My parents gave me a book about how the Earth was developed, and I realized about this photosynthesis, about the light. And then when I became older and after my company, I realized for the world, using light is in every culture, in every religion, in all the countries, understandable as a common sense. That's the trick to combine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so true. In the background, we have one of your masterpieces, Matterhorn. Gerry, you have done the largest artwork in the world, Tiger on Eiger. Everyone knows about it. So can you tell us more about it as well?
This artwork, I realized in 2022, we have a mountain in Switzerland, it calls Eiger, And when you speak in Swiss German, then you say, I go to Eiger, I go to Tiger. So that sounds a little bit like tiger. And in 2022, I realized already 10 years before, we will have the Chinese zodiac year of tiger.
Yeah.
And this formation of Eiger, for me, artistic way, it looks like a lying tiger. So I had the idea to do a projections of a 5.3 kilometers,
Wow.
17,000 feet long tiger on this mountain lying there. You know why? It was 1st of February, starting the year of the tiger, and 3 days later, the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympic Games in China, Beijing.
Too many coincidences, Gerry.
Yeah, and I wrote, if we are able in the media, if we are able to protect the tiger, which is living in 13 countries, we are able to protect everything on our planet. That was the key message.
Yeah, that's really so powerful, to protect the environment and species who are already extincted or at the age.
That's right.
That's amazing how you can do combining light and colors that everyone understands. That's tiger and Eiger. It's amazing.
And what I like is that you bring the picture to home. It's not some idea of a tiger in walking around in Africa or in Asia, and I'm sitting here in Switzerland. But thanks to you, I can even see that picture here. I think that's the main message also. How to get people active is to bring the message home.
Yeah, and the main message was, if we are really passionate to protect one animal, a specific animal, then we have the clue to protect the other ones too.
Yeah.
Including ourselves.
Yeah. It needs that switch,
Yeah. And the message. And I think that's why it's so strong and powerful that you are bringing this message. This message has to come home.
Correct.
That we have to act.
Home in the heart. SOS. Act now.
Home to your heart.
Exactly. So let's dive now into the SOS World Tour and how we can reach billions of people to get into action for the sake of our planet. So tell us more. What is the SOS World Tour that you are planning? Tell us more about that journey.
The word SOS was invented when the Titanic sank. So they decided, the naval industry, to have one word for all the ships when they have stress, which is understandable, and a clear sign: save our souls. At the ETH Zurich Science Institute, worldwide known, the Glaciers specialists are saying, in 40 years, when a child now will be born, 80% of the glaciers are gone, including the water, around the globe. And I have been asked, what can you do for this, Gerry? And I developed the idea, okay, let's travel. We have next year, United Nations Year of Glacier Preservation. No more protection, preservation. Protection is already gone. I decided to travel to 8 continents, and projecting on each continent, I selected the glacier, the word SOS from huge distance, giant, onto the glaciers, in such a way that it can be photographed and seen from space by ISS or satellites. And then I will take photos. This tour around the globe, with this help, this message sending out by light, SOS, save our souls, save our species. Glaciers are species, we are species, everyone is having a soul. I would like to send out a sign to universe, to space, hoping someone can see it and is willing and ready to help, because we lost control to do it. That's the SOS World Tour. And this message will go around the globe, will go into the heart of the people. Everyone is understanding. Everyone understands the word SOS. So that's about the tour.
Okay. And what is the call to action for humanity that you want to bring with this SOS World Tour?
Because we still need to act ourselves, right? We cannot rely and say somebody is going to help us. Hey, we need to do something ourselves. So what is the call to action?
Okay, I'm realistic. If someone in space will see it and this thing is going to help us, it might be a force or something in mind or a spirit. This is one part. The other part is a saying, less is more. But I'm saying with the SOS tour, a bit less, just a bit less is much, much more. So when you have 8 billion people living on a ball, and everyone is doing just a little bit less, driving, streaming, consuming, shopping, traveling, just a little bit, the impact on planet Earth, on our climate, on health, on being together will be massive positive. That's what I'm saying.
That's absolutely true, and I'm looking forward to the tour. Now, tell us a little bit exciting and challenging stories, because you worked in some pretty challenging locations. So what has been your scariest moment and maybe your funniest experience while creating light art?
Okay, the one who was really bad was in 2 sentences. On the minute, 100 years after the accident of the Titanic, we were at the Arctic and I was projecting the Titanic in original size on a giant iceberg. This iceberg was at the place where the iceberg was born, who hit the Titanic after 3,500 kilometers swimming. So that was in the night of 14th of April 2012, and we were able to do this, but in that night also snow came up, and I made a mistake. I have forgotten low tide coming. I didn't check my schedule. In the stress, because it was such an emotional moment to see this boat where the whole Europe was putting the nation for a new world, and in maiden travel it sank. So we were 12 living people seeing this boat again, and I forgot the low tide, and at 1 o'clock in the morning the captain was screaming, "Look back in the fjord, the icebergs are coming out to the ocean." We had to escape. As stupid the whole situation was, at 1 o'clock in the morning, we drove very, very slow, 5 kilometers in the fog, in the snowstorm, and the captain told me, "Gerry, now we will die," because it's the 7th time I was there. "Now we will die." And we hit an iceberg. And the boat had a hole 1 meter above the waterline. I was able to see from the top the book lying on the bed of the captain he was reading.
Wow.
That's crazy. So the nature was responding to you. You're playing Titanic. People are not learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we had the pictures.
Now, what was the funniest one then?
I don't know, but okay, I'll let you know. In Europe, when you have Christmas, you're painting stars for decoration, all right? Christmas stars comes from the religion Christians. So in 2010, I was doing projections on the pyramids, world premiere for the government. Each slide, I'm painting slides for the projection, static slide, I had to present to the police and the staff from the minister. They were standing at my side, and I had to ask, "Is this slide good?" Yes, so pharaohs in, and hieroglyphs in, everything. And then I found in my slide box, after 2 years, a Christmas design slide of Switzerland, blue painted with white stars. I said, "Okay, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's put stars on the pyramid." I took this, immediately silence, 10 people looking at me. Oh, please do it. That's the best. Please, please. Okay, I play cool, put it in, and there was totally silence with this policeman, the people from the culture ministry. Thank you, Gerry. Thank you. I said, it's welcome, welcome. After finishing, we rushed back to the hotel. I ran to the library, checking a book about the pyramids. You know what I discovered? That
What?
all graves of the pharaohs have these paintings on the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
Blue with the white stars, but these special stars I was scratching on my slides. Exactly the same.
Incredible. Wow, that's really incredible. Wonders.
So Gerry, the SOS message is a big part of your tour. Why did you choose this, and do you ever worry that it might be misunderstood?
I do. Okay, first, why I'm doing this? I have so much experience in working in really bad areas or dangerous areas with my team, but they always have a plan. And going out there with a little team and doing later on a TV series about this and speeches around the globe after the tour, I'm sure I will motivate not millions, billions of people to think about the acting, how they are living, or about how they should motivate other people or neighbors to change a little something. And with the SOS, the projection of SOS, I'm sure there will be no misunderstanding, because in the communication it will be saying it's United Nations Year of Glaciers Preservation, and there is water inside. And if this water all goes back to the sea, the sea level will rise, and 60% of all people living on the seaside, they have to move back to inland, but there you have cows eating grass for hamburgers, or wheat, or corn for cornflakes, and there will be a stress for humanity because someone has to take land away from others. The water is gone, so you have to protect the glaciers, then you keep more or less a little bit longer the water.
So which emotion do you hope to awake inside of people's hearts when they see the SOS? What's the impact on people's hearts?
The motivation will be when they see this, wow, there is some person in a team acting totally crazy with passion to bring back this message. And this motivation that we will be like a light tower to the people with this message. And they see, okay, they went so far, so high, so crazy. You know what? The next 12 months, I go working with my bike. I'm already winning.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's correct. And your Matterhorn project, which you had done in the past, was seen by billions. How did you come up with the idea of projecting flags of nations? And what was the response? Did you get the response that you were expecting?
Look, when COVID came, the community of Zermatt asked me, can you do 4 weeks of projection on the Matterhorn Hope as a sign for the world to stay through this? So 4 weeks on the bottom of Matterhorn alone.
Why don't you go yourself, guys? There, no?
Yeah, how we will get food? No problem. You will get from Air Zermatt the best home delivery service by helicopter. You will just send us a list what you need to eat, and every 3 day helicopter will pull out the food like wild animals. Here you have it. Come in. So I said, okay, let's do it. My team was joining me, and my partner, Barbara, and my daughter. And so actually one of my best time in my life, living actually 5 weeks on the bottom of the Matterhorn, every night doing this projection. After the third night of projecting the world hope we realized Italy is having a problem, France is having a problem, England. So we realized it goes around the world like on a tour. Every nation became in a day suddenly a huge problem. So we decided after the third day of projection, let's put always the flag of that nation which is at the moment at the baddest situation.
Yeah.
It was not in a plan. It was not invented ahead. We never expected anything. And this isolated, standing alone mountain was suddenly a huge sign for the world. And people were able to see it through the webcams, the newest modern webcam. And that was the key to success. So they were able to sit at night somewhere and looking at it. And that went around the world 4 billion times and a lot of reaction. Countless. And honestly, this sign of a pandemic, of hope to stand together, that inspired me to do now this SOS World Tour, but for the bigger case, as a last call for help. It's 1 to 12 to do it.
That's amazing, and I believe when you do it from your heart, so you follow your heart, when you not follow the plan always, but you also follow your heart, then the best things unfold and you do the right thing, which impacts billions. So you describe also the glaciers as living creatures. Can you explain that? Do you think of them as having their own story? So how can we understand that?
The glaciers, from the artistic way, I'm looking at in this way. Thousands of years ago, 10,000 years ago, the glaciers were very big. They came back, getting smaller, became big again. And even now, they are melting and retreating back. So something which is getting bigger, smaller, is for me a living creature. And the glacier, the situation of the glaciers, 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, or now, for me, it's a mirror to our society, what we are doing. It's a direct reflection, the mirroring. Look, I'm doing this because what you're doing. So that's why I'm saying also the glaciers are living creations or have a soul.
Yeah.
And you mentioned just now earlier that in 40 years' time, 80% of the glaciers would be gone. But with the glaciers melting this fast, what urgent steps should we take to help? And are there little things or easy things we can do which can make a difference?
I think I'm not a specialist. I'm just someone who tries to give out in a special way a message or a reminder by light. In an artistic way too, but very serious. I hope through this that people will really start thinking, and by looking at these pictures taken from space, wow, and start talking to each other and motivating each other to do a little bit less to get much more. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Gerry, and what feedback have you received from people living near the glaciers you worked on before? Do you have any memorable stories or reactions?
To summarize this, I can only tell you as an example. It was about 160 years ago when they invented the Swiss Alpine Club and built huts in the mountains. So the goal was to have a hut in the mountain in case you have a problem with the weather or you are too tired, you can go in a shelter. Almost all of these 150 huts we have in the mountains, they were built direct, like on the seaside, at the Glaciers plateau. So you can step out the hut and you go on the glacier, and you are faster on the summit.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the pictures now, no one of these huts are at the glaciers anymore. And also it started to be very dangerous to get to these huts because you cannot walk anymore on the glacier. It's too steep to go out to the hut. So that's the only thing I can say. There are a lot of examples, but 150 years ago, all the huts on the glacier now all gone. 300 meters down is the glacier, or back up to the summit, gone. That's it.
That's very, very sad. Looking at the pictures, it's really very sad.
Yeah. And how can the wisdom of our ancestors help us with today's environmental issues? Should we learn from our old ways or just take some inspiration?
You get to the key. When I was in the USA in the Monument Valley with the Navajos, they told me, Gerry, it's very sad here. The rabbits are disappearing. So what does it mean? Yeah, we Indians are saying, we know when the rabbits are disappearing, leaving the area, there is no more groundwater, and then it's finished. But we are not able to leave our place. So what I discovered by talking to these indigenous people in all the continents, it's very simple. Live in harmony with the nature. Take what the nature is giving you without stress, taking it out, and give back to the nature what you can give, or treat yourself like a guest on this planet. So the sentence, live in harmony with the nature, I think that's the key sentence we should go. And that's the solution which these people had 7,000, 9,000, 5,000 years ago. And some of them are still doing this, trying to do.
That's so true, Gerry, because many behave as they are kings of the world, but in reality, humans are just dust on this planet, guests, as you're saying. So I absolutely love that. A bit of humility to many people wouldn't do harm, I think, on our planet.
So how important is public awareness in fighting climate change? And what can people do on their day-to-day life? And should we start with small actions or with really large campaigns?
My advice, or what I wish, is the communication is very important, so it gets awareness. So everyone should talk to each other about this SOS tour. And secondly, big campaign that looks always so you have to do, and we tell you how to do. But motivating people by this SOS projected by light and seeing from space and travel around each continent. And it's also the first time that art is photographed from space on Earth. I believe if everyone is doing just a little bit, but everyone is doing just a little bit, we will have a giant impact. As I said before, you cannot buy, you cannot organize. It's all about the three biggest forces a person can have, perhaps also an animal, a person, a human. Passion. With passion, you get everything, because the passion is your heart and your vision. And then love. Love, it's all above. So passion and love, these are the real power of person. And then if you can add on just a little bit of discipline and coolness and happiness,
Right. Gerry, digging deeper into your heart, which of your projects has touched you the most and why? Is there any particular moment that stands out in your heart?
Yeah. The planet Earth is having three lungs. The Amazon forest in South America, the rainforest. Then we have the Arctic in the north, and the Antarctic in the south. These two are the refrigerators of the planet Earth, and in the Amazon, the rainforest, the biggest in the world, is cleaning, let's say, the air. If one of these three lungs is having a problem, Amazon is really at the tipping point. If one of these lungs is having a problem, the other two will follow in the same step.
Yeah.
So I decided in 2022, when I was working for Glasgow Climate Conference, to go to the Arctic. Before I went to the hospital, X-ray my lungs, and then I projected my lungs on the iceberg, because when the other three lungs of planet Earth cannot breathe, my lungs will not breathe. And when we were projecting this picture with my name on it in orange, like in the hospital, very original, Gerry Hofstetter, 8th of March 1962, question mark. I'm not yet dead. I saw this picture and I was flashed. I said, oh boy, this is really, these combinations, you know. I realized what's going to happen seeing my lungs on an iceberg of one of these three lungs. So that was really motivating me with passion. Let's try to set a sign for everyone. So that's the reason why we invented the SOS Tour.
With so many people seeing your work, Gerry, how do you handle this huge responsibility? How do you stay grounded, or do you have any tips for those ungrounded people around?
Okay, I can say something. Use your sand in your life hour clock every minute. No one is filling it up again. Use this correctly. Use it with friends, family, using it to do good things. Act like a guest on planet Earth and talk about the SOS World Tour to everyone. That's it. The result will be automatically coming. You will stay on ground. If you live your life and you know you have a limited sand, someone gave you don't know the content and how long, and you try to act with your talents as a guest on planet Earth, you will be automatically grounded.
And adding to that, how can people get involved in supporting your mission? Is there a simple way to join in and help out?
Yeah, we need actually three things. First is funding, of course, but for this people can contact Swiss Impact or myself. And secondly, they have to help to communicate in one way or the other. And third, the biggest help is then done when they act a little bit less, which is going to be much more with the others. That's it.
Very simple, very clear, Gerry. So I think we are running also out of time. But lastly, what message or call to action would you like to share with our viewers, hopefully billions in some time?
Okay, I want to say, follow your passion, have a mission or a vision, follow your passion, and try to be attentiveness in everything what you do in life. Attentiveness stands above all.
Thank you, Gerry. I love that. So it has been so amazing to have you. We are looking forward to support you in any way possible. And of course, I think everyone can do something, even simple sharing once the tour starts, in social media, and help to make it viral. So really that everyone can see that and everyone can do some little things for the better world. Yes.
Thank you very, very much, Gerry.
Thank you.
And we see you at Matterhorn, Gerry, right?
Yeah. Matterhorn is the Swiss cross. That's a real symbol of light and hope. Thank you.
Amazing.
I hope to be back again on your channel when we started the tour, so to talk a little bit about the experience and what kind of stories we are going through to realize it.
That's a done deal. Absolutely. We are looking forward to that moment in the future. But till now, we need to do our proper distribution of time with the sand we have. Let's work for this to happen. So thank you, Gerry. It's an honor for us to have you with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great day and Happy New Year.
Bye, Gerry. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Lots of love. Bye. Okay, dear audience. Wow, what's the start of a new season? Right away, SOS. So be prepared, and it's going to start beginning of 2025. Till then, do what you can do for our dear planet, for your beloved ones, and create impact with whatever you can. Not only money, but time. I think that's also the only thing that you can usually control. What you do, what you prioritize.
Exactly. And your actions. So looking forward to the next break, bringing again another amazing story.
And bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks for joining our circular journey. We hope you are as pumped about sustainability as we are.
Absolutely. And if these stories didn't get you fired up, we don't know what will.
Hit subscribe and follow us everywhere. TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. And share it with your family and friends.
And if you got a cool story or want to connect to our guests, let us know.
Stay tuned for more inspiring episodes. Let's keep evolving towards a sustainable future together.